and only speaker of the day, because this person is not just giving any speech today. Our speaker of the day, is actually giving the final speech in his quest to become Distinguished Toastmaster. For those of you who may not know, Distinguished Toastmaster is a designation conferred upon a Toastmaster by Toastmasters International. It is the highest award or title that one can have as a Toastmaster, and represents literally years of work, years of giving and perfecting speeches, years of service and leadership. And with John Grigsby giving his final speech today, that is the last requirement for him to fulfill the requirements to become Distinguished Toastmaster, I could not be more honored to be the one to introduce him. Today, John will complete, as I mentioned, the last requirement for his DTM, as we are fond of calling it. He will share a little of what it looks like for him to have completed his path and provide insights as to how you can also realize this award and status. The last project in a pathway is the Reflect on Your Path speech. John will reflect on highlights from the Presentation Mastery pathway, as well as highlights leading up to earning his Distinguished Toastmaster status. His speech, for our timers information, is a 10 to 12 minute speech. It's a little bit longer than our average speech, but well worth it under the circumstances. Before I turn the lectern over to John, though, I want to make sure that you can see our timer. Who is our timer today? Aaron. Hey, Aaron is here from Spain. So glad you made it. Thank you.
Of course, Ellen told me it was John's DTM. I was like, I have to go.
Right? Absolutely. We are all here to support John. So excited for him. So could you just hold up your timing devices, please? Beautiful. That's green.
Trying to unmute myself. Yellow.
Yep.
And red.
Perfect. And I love that you're using the Toastmaster backgrounds. Those are awesome and so clear for everybody to be able to see. But the most important person is John Grigsby. Can you see Aaron? Perfect. With that said, I will now hand the lectern to you, Mr. Grigsby. Proceed.
Less than 1% of Toastmasters ever earn the DTM, or the Distinguished Toastmaster Award. Why? Well, because it's hard. It takes time and dedication, and it takes help from others along the way. And today, woo, I have finished that requirement. Woohoo! There is celebration in my house. Woo! All right. Today, I am completing the last project in Presentation Mastery Path. And I'm taking the opportunity in this speech to celebrate some of the accomplishments in the past and those who have helped me along the way. And I'm going to break the speech down to 3 areas: my accomplishments in Toastmasters, my accomplishments outside Toastmasters, and lessons learned along the way. So I started this particular path back in September of 2019, when I finished up the leadership development path. And I would be remiss if I didn't first and foremost thank each and every one of the Toastmasters in Pellissippi, both past and present, who have helped me along the way. There have been so many Toastmasters that have been helpful in my development over the past 3.5 years. I remember when I first came, Jim Johnson would shake your hand, good night. He would shake you up to the elbow. He just welcomed you so much. Yvonne was one of the most helpful and encouraging people to me when I first came. And Thelina, Thelina was helpful. He was the president at the time. They were all just get in there and get going, and got me started on my Toastmasters path. So I am thankful to each and every one of you, those who served with me as an officer, those who've served as leadership roles in the meetings, everybody at Pellissippi. I want to thank you so much for your help over the past 3.5 years. I also earned in the past year, as Stacy had mentioned before we started, I got an award. I got the Triple Crown Award. Triple Crown Award is for those who complete 3 levels in 1 year. And I've got 2 of these little pins, and I don't really have anywhere to support or put it, but I like to keep it here in my office to remind me that it takes a little hard work to earn those things. One of the things you have to do to earn your DTM is to be a district officer. And last year, I just completed my officer as an area director. I was Area 23 director. And in our area last year, we had 5 clubs. Of course, Pellissippi was one of those clubs. And I had Sonia Van Hook as my division director, and Stacy Thomas, who's here with us today, as my district director. And they were so helpful. Stacy is the easiest person to work with. She is encouraging. She is helpful. They both have been just tremendous help to me last year, because I started this area director, didn't have a clue what to really do. And the previous area director wasn't really around to help me. So I did it by learning, and I had a lot of help along the way. Also got help from Mary Mixon when Jim Johnson passed away. Mary stepped in and was just very instrumental in helping me stay in bounds on some things. So I want to thank her as well. You also have to be a club coach or a club mentor for at least 6 months for a club. Now, I had no idea what this was, but I knew if I was going to earn my DTM, I had to do it. So Kristen Phillips helped me get set up to be a club mentor for a club called G3. And y'all haven't heard of this one. It's called Geoda's 3. Geoda's Gift of Gab, I think is what they call themselves. And they are an international shipping and logistics company. So they've got people from California to North Carolina, Chicago, all over the place. And they meet every other Thursday. Penny Perkins is the president. And starting a club mentor was like having a kid all over. You know, you start at the very beginning, and they're working their way up, progressing. They don't know what they don't know. They had one member that was a Toastmaster before, and me. Everybody else was still trying to figure out, why do we do it this way? Well, let's do it. No, you really need to stick with the program. So it's been a challenge, but what an opportunity to talk with those folks. And like I said, they're from all over the country. So they have some different cultures to deal with. That's been helpful to me as well. I appreciate that. One other thing you have to do is you have to conduct a speechcraft or a youth leadership program. And one of these programs are membership building for Toastmasters. And I didn't know which one to do, but I had a good friend, Will Davenport, who's the president over at Central Communicators. And Will said, hey, let's get together and do a youth leadership program. I said, okay, I don't know how to do it. And so I asked a few people around, and Dean Phillips was super great to meet me one day and give me just a ton of books to help me figure out what the heck I was doing. I had no idea what the boundaries were. What was we supposed to be doing here with kids? I talk in front of adults now. I don't know. But thanks to Dean, Will and I were able to figure it out. And we gave a youth leadership program to both a middle school, which is a challenge, let me tell you, and a high school group over at the Emerald Youth Foundation. What a joy it was to work with the Emerald Youth Foundation. And Will is such a great gamer. He likes to play games that are both team building and fun and educational. And we put that together with a Toastmasters curriculum, and we had just a really fun time. We both enjoyed it, and we said, hey, we'd like to do that again sometime. So we probably will. If you'd like to do that with us, let me know. I'll pull you in. My accomplishments outside of Toastmasters. In December, at the end of December of 2019, when Jim Johnson passed away, Curtis Johnston and I were involved in the planning of the funeral arrangements for Jim. And the family asked me if I would give the eulogy at Jim's funeral. He had a military funeral over at the Veterans Cemetery off of Andrew Johnson Highway. But I thought, I can't do this. And then I thought, you're a Toastmaster. You can do this. Do this. So I put my big boy britches on, figured it out. And with the encouragement of Curtis and the family, I delivered Jim's eulogy at his funeral. What an honor it was to do that. What a blessing to be able to honor Jim and his family in that kind of way. So thanks to Toastmasters, I was able to do that. Last year in April, we were at a Hobnob event. This is a networking event here in Knoxville. Here again, I didn't know what a Hobnob was. I didn't know what to do at a networking event. What do you do with Toastmasters? We give speeches. Nobody's going to stop and listen to me 5-7 minutes. What do I do? Well, you network with people. And guess what? We enjoyed that. So I got to meet people like Coley Pardue and Flash Black, and a few of you helped us out at the Hobnob, and met some other folks from other clubs. And it was great just to talk about Toastmasters. It was really, really good. Another accomplishment that I'm still working on is I really want to be a teacher or public speaker for a living. That's really what I want to do. And Toastmasters has helped me on that journey. And also in the past year, I have been able to complete my book, woohoo, Blackberry Wisdom, available on Amazon today if you have not got one. And if you'd like to get one signed, I'd be glad to sell you one of those as well. Shameless plug. I do it again and again and again. But the book was just a step on the journey that I'm still trying to gain as far as being a speaker and a teacher. I want my next phase of my life for me and my wife, who's with us today. Hi, Cindy. Cindy joined us from Newport. I want us to be able to travel the country and speak and entertain, not entertain, but help people across the country. That's really what I want to do. So I'm working on that step. So what are the lessons I've learned through completing this path? First of all, be willing to help out whenever needed in Toastmasters. And what I've come to find out is the need becomes greater with increased experience. Stacy probably could amen me to that one, right? The more experience you have in Toastmasters, guess what? They need you for more stuff. Okay, that's good, because now I understand things better. I enjoy it. I enjoy meeting people and helping people in Toastmasters. So it's okay. I do have more experience, and I'm ready to do more things in Toastmasters. And I have. I've also determined that communication and leadership skills are needed by most people. They really are. They just don't know about Toastmasters. Or if they do know about Toastmasters, they're really unwilling to invest the time needed to develop those skills. Toastmasters is not a microwave. It's more like a crock pot. It takes time. It's not something you come for a 1 weekend course and you go home, put that badge on, and hey, I'm a Toastmaster and I know how to. No, it doesn't work that way. It takes time. It takes effort. It takes determination. It really does. But it's worth it. Let me tell you that. And people need that. And so that's why I'm glad to share. Laura's been working on her social media skills. We're trying to get the word out. We have a great gift to give people in Toastmasters. If we can just get them here, they really can accomplish it. And then once you get here, you got to put the effort in. You got to put the time in. It takes time. Another thing I've learned is care for volunteers. I've told our officers at times I am a hard driver. I am very passionate about Toastmasters, and sometimes I push it a little too hard. And I've learned that. And I'm learning, thankful, but some of those people, when I push too hard, they give me the feedback and say, hey, John, that was too much. It doesn't hurt my feelings. It actually helps me because I got to know what my boundaries are. My wife would probably tell you, I pushed a little too much sometimes. Cindy, I'm glad you're muted. Don't say amen. I push a little too hard sometimes. I know that. But I need that feedback of when to stay within the boundaries. So I'm learning that. That's something else I'm still learning as a leader, is when not to drive people away. And I've also learned that fellow Toastmaster friends are invaluable. I have made some great friends through Toastmasters. When you go through some of the things that we go through as Toastmasters, you really build a bond. You build a relationship. We just know things that make it really important to be friends with each other. And I've really, really learned that and really appreciate the friends that I've made in Toastmasters, not only our club, but throughout the whole district. It's been awesome. And then lastly, the thing I've learned is to thank my family. My sister's here. Where's she at? There she is. And my wife, who has been very helpful to me, and she's made sacrifices, because you all know that Saturday morning sometimes takes up a whole morning. Evenings, there's different times that it takes away from my family time, and she's made that sacrifice for me, and I need to thank her publicly for doing that as well. So thank you for my family, friends, and everybody, Toastmasters. So Toastmasters has a proven system for developing communication and leadership skills. Pathways is that system for developing communication skills. Officer and district role, club and district roles are important for developing those leadership skills. It takes both, putting those both together to really round out your career and to be a great Toastmaster. But Toastmasters has this program already in place. All you gotta do is follow it. Jim Hart was great about that. Follow the system. It'll produce the results that you want. Stick with the system. The system is right. I get it now. I get it. I have been willing to invest the time and the energy into doing the hard things for the past 3.5 years to earn my DTM. But I tell you, it has been worth it. It truly has been worth it. And the DTM is an award, but the experiences along the way are the reward for being Toastmasters. And what I like to do, I like to pass these off to somebody else that wants to be DTM. Join me at the top. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
John, thank you. And I think you need to change your initials by your name now to DTM instead of speaker. Congratulations on this just phenomenal accomplishment. And
Thank you. Actually, according to the order, I've got to send to Steve, and Steve, being our VPE, has to officially submit for us. So it's not official yet.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
It will be my honor to do that, though.
Absolutely. John, you have been an inspiration to so many people, not just the people on this screen and in this Zoom room, but people out in the community that you have served for much more than 3.5 years. I know that. You have been an inspiration to me, and you just said, you know, who can you pass those pom-poms to, right? Well, you have inspired me, as you well know, to go for my DTM. And I'm doing that by, you know, a speech a month, and we'll get there. And I also want to thank you, John, for leading by example in serving the larger Toastmaster community, in being the area director and pushing me to take on that role. Maybe a little hard, but it was good, not too hard. So that was okay. But you really have shown us it can be done, just with perseverance and dedication. And we are all so proud of you. And I know that you're going to get a formal evaluation here in just a minute, but if we could all just take a minute to just give John our applause, our gratitude, our acknowledgement for everything you've done for us and for yourself and for the whole community. That being said, it is now time for us to move on to our table topics segment. And with that, I will now pass the virtual lectern to Miss Yvonne Hart.